Hey everyone, got a quick video for you today with some 5.4 notes. So we're continuing to graph linear functions, but what you might notice right away, the ones we graph today only have one variable. So what we mean by that is instead of normally seeing an x value and a y value as we have, you're only going to see one of them, like x equals -1. So these really help if you use a table. Really makes it a lot easier. So we take this very literally. When this equation says x equals -1, that is actually telling us that the x value is -1. In fact, it's -1 always. So I'm going to lay down a few -1s there. Now it doesn't mention the y value, so for the y side of the table I can actually put whatever I want. Now rather than make up crazy numbers, I'm just going to keep it simple, so I'm going to put numbers here like 0, 1, and 2. So x is -1 every single time, and y is whatever you want. Now go ahead and throw that on the graph, and we'll go left 1 up 0, or left 1 up 1, or left 1 up 2. And what you'll notice after just a few of them is that if x is always -1, if the x value is always -1, these points are stacked on top of each other. So that makes a vertical line. And you can go ahead and connect them then, where all those other y values could be. Remember, y could have been anything. Could have gone way up here, could have gone way down here, could use decimals, fractions, whatever, but x needs to be -1. And that's always going to be true. If x has to stay the same, no matter what it is, -1 or +3, if x is always the same, then that is always going to make a vertical line. So write down here, equations that only have an x variable make a vertical line. So then take a look over at this one where it says y equals 4, and very similar to the last one, just this time it's the y value that's blocked. So y is 4. Go ahead and write that down over and over and over, that y is 4. They don't mention x, so we get to make it up. I'm going to keep it simple. X is 0, 1, or 2. Again, you could put anything you want there. I'm going to go over left, right, 0, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then over 1 up 4, then over 2 up 4. And what I notice after a few of those is that while x can continue to the right or to the left, the y value is the same. And that makes it a flat horizontal line. Because if y is always the same, it never goes up, it never goes down, it just stays flat. And that's whenever you see just the y variable, you know it's going to make a horizontal line. Okay, so only with one variable, just fill that number in over and over for that variable, make up whatever you want for the other variable. So the last two problems today are kind of the opposite of that. Instead of they give us an equation and we make a line, well, what if they give us a line? Can we make the equation? And again, it might be easiest to use a table to help us do this. So when I see that vertical line, I'm going to put some points on there. At nice whole numbers, easy to figure out that this is over 3 up down 0, and then over 3 up 1, and over 3 up 2. X is 3, y is 2. Now once I look at that table, what jumps out at me is the x side of the table. That x is always 3. Then I write that down. X is always 3. That's the equation of that line. So one more time right here, set up my xy table, pick a few points on the line, this time like 0, -3, over 0, down 3, and then over to right 1, down 3, 1, -3, and finally over to 2, -3. And this time it's the y side that jumps out at me, that y is always -3. So that's it for the notes today. At this point, if you could go ahead and work on the 5.4 RSG on page 18, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.